Oh, it's before I get into the prelims mode, now, so how do you define this? It's a very integral part of your life. Take 1 minute, think about it. Puja, beta batao, what do you interpret by this? That brings me to the interpretation part of history. Very integral part of your life. This is I, by the way. Nahi? Yeah? Yeah? So interpretation, riddle, that's what prelims is all about. You have the answer in front of you. Sounds very silly, but the point is it works every time. Every time there are oh no moments, oh shit moments, if I may use the word. Answer to सामने था, मुझे पता था devaluation, depreciation में क्या फर्क है. I knew that what is the difference between FDI, FII. I knew the difference between this much is the debt, public debt, private debt. I knew, but I couldn't do because a lot of the questions I did wrong were from polity section. A lot of questions I did wrong were from history section because I overthought. You get it? That brings me to the interpretational part. That's how we interpret things. It was there in front of you. You couldn't see it. I give you 1 minute. Just because had it been in your room, you would have been easily done it. I asked this in the 12th class ka question like 5 years back. They immediately got into it. Fresh minds. So many data are there. So that brings me to my lecture. Now, past year question papers. I'll be my guiding light will be the past year papers. Okay, I will not get into the mains mode abhi because I'll be taking care of the prelims mode. Okay, since you guys are giving 26th of okay. So history is a continuous dialogue between past and the present. The events which happened in the past, you interpret it in your own way. Then we have right, left, center, whatever. Somebody says Gandhi was bad, somebody says Ashok was good, somebody says Mughal rules was bad, somebody says Muslim rules is bad, but we are not supposed to get into all these things. We will stick to the facts, as ma'am said, because facts are what they have been asking. Facts. What are the facts that have been asked in the last year? Okay. Ports.
And the places where the Buddhist sites are around like in south. Mostly they are focused in south.
Focusing south?
Yes.
Then?
The historians who have been excavated, the historical remains in modern history, that is beginning of 9th century.
What is Chaitya? What is Vihara, if I may ask?
Vihara is a place where monks will rest.
Where people pray.
This was asked in 2015. Okay. In 2015, they asked about Chaityas and Viharas. Chaityas are where they stay. Pray, and Vihara is where they stay. I repeat, Vihara gave the term Bihar. Okay. Just link with it. Bihar, where they stay. Where they pray is Chaityas. Hinayana, Mahayana, 2 sects of Buddhism. Okay, 2 sects of Buddhism. Earlier, Hinduism was only Brahminical Hinduism. Then we had Vaishnava movement. We had Shaiva cult in South India. Then we have so many temples. Then Muslim invaded India. Then we had Muslim invaders. Then they made their own kind of architecture, which is mingling with the culture. That brings me to the question, what is the difference between civilization and culture? What is the difference? The people who are online can also participate. Please tell me what is the difference between a culture and a civilization. Then I'll start with Indus Valley Civilization. Yes?
So culture is a much more one aspect of civilization, I feel like. And civilization is much more broader. Civilization includes culture, how you culturally evolve and come to that maximum apex where you're able to dwell and utilize the resources.
According to the civilization is a transmission of life from one stage to another stage. And the culture, being a central aspect of civilization, will evolve. If you ask me, like, the culture is a base for everything. To be civilized or non-civilized, what to do, what not to do.
Why do we call Vedic a culture? Why do we call Harappan as a civilization? Culture is a smallest subpart of civilization. Can we call that the Punjabi culture, pop culture, or Telugu culture, Malayali culture? You get it? And Indian civilization, Telugu, Malayali, Tamil, Gurumukhi, or pop culture, Gidda. Gidda is a folk, or which falls under culture, which is a subpart of civilization. You get it, na? So every civilization has a popular culture. You get it, na? So culture is a subset of civilization. That doesn't mean there's a linkage. There might be some like peripheral linkages, but the point is here I'm talking about broader themes. Because in history, nothing is permanent, everything is transient, everything is interpretational, and interpretation can be biased, can be wrong. You get it, no? So that's how we started. As per my knowledge concerned, I think you guys have good to go, because that's what I wanted to, guess that what is the level of like students. That's how we go, because we have lesser time now. So we'll move a bit faster. First thing. Second thing, we'll be focusing more on facts. I'll be giving you the facts. You'll be jotting them down. What is the way, like before we start, like do you write things, or do you like lecture comes and you don't write it? What is the way of teaching before? Both, na? Both. I'll be doing the both. As far as this year's paper is concerned, I'll be giving you important facts which are there in the past year. The themes I'll be talking about. The topics I'll be talking about. Topics means, say, the Indus Valley Civilization or Harappan Civilization. It's, the facts associated with that. Vedic civilization, Vedic culture, the facts associated with. My guiding light will be the past year papers. That's how I operate, because we have to stick to the demand of the UPSC since we are preparing for civil services. Okay, so what Britishers did was, when they came to India, that brings me to a past year paper, that they established a Fort William College. Where was the Fort William College established? Sorry? West Bengal. When was it established, and why was it established?
Store their goods.
So they wanted to train some people here so that they could have efficiently, to go to the control, so that they could have just like and they wanted to civilize them so that they could use those people only for their own control for administration purposes in India.
Why was Asiatic Society of India established? For the administrative point of view, that's why. What is the need of having a history and culture? How many questions were there in last year from history, ancient, medieval? I'm open to correction, but the point is there were like 12 questions from ancient and medieval. 6 or 7 questions only from modern. Last year, there were like odd 13 questions. From last 5 years, there have been like increasing trend from ancient and medieval. That's why I wanted to start with. I would have started easily with the modern India, but everybody knows most of the modern India. My experience, because I taught in like forum also. So the point is, my experience was people don't read these ancient and medieval thoroughly. They think ki ho jayega. What source are you referring to as far as ancient is concerned? Both? Tamil Nadu, right? Tamil Nadu is the guiding light. Please focus on Tamil Nadu only, because that will be, because you have to study like Lakshmikant also, Spectrum also for modern. Stick to the demand of this exam. You will not be able to cut off first. How much? Last year ka? 22.
22 is for general, it is
87, 88. ठीक है? तो सारे क्वेश्चन नहीं करने हैं. You just have to focus on certain specific areas. Fort William College established to train the bureaucrats, to train the bureaucrats for administration in India. That's why they are asking history, like culture, history. As I talked about culture and civilization, you must know about the civilization. A girl from Chandigarh is posted in Tamil Nadu or in Northeast. A girl from Telangana is posted in Chandigarh. Apart from those raps of Sidhu Moosewala and all. So that's very limited understanding. But the point is, we must know the culture also. I must also know the culture of Tamil, Telugu culture also, or for that matter. Since I teach, so I have interest. You get it, right? So that's the relevance of it. ठीक है? रो हसो करना तो है ही. 18 क्वेश्चन तो पूछेंगे ही, तो करने पड़ेंगे. You cannot skip it. ठीक है? So Asiatic Society of Bengal was established in 1784 because they wanted to teach Indian culture, Indian languages. Manuscript had to be reinterpreted, deciphered, so that they could understand the culture better. अब मुझे गुरुमुखी के क्या समझ में आएगा? अगर मुझे पंजाब में पोस्टिंग मिलती है, if I become the superintendent of police, how would I know what is the culture there if I don't understand the Punjabi language? That's why they teach. A guy from Chandigarh will learn Assamese language when he's posted, and he has to, ma'am, so you must learn about other cultures also. That's what the relevance is. So, okay, thank you. You get it right? Okay, start correct. So these are by and large. I would have given you more questions, but the point is, I don't think that's relevant till Abhi. I'll give like what was asked in Harappan in this topic of Indus Valley Civilization. After I would be able to finish it off in a stipulated time period. I hope so. Okay, Indus Valley Civilization and Harappan culture. What do you mean by this? Okay. What do you mean by Indus Valley Civilization? Okay, and then why do we call it the Indus Valley Civilization? Harappan civilization also. Why? So solve कैसे करेंगे? How to solve this? इधर से? Okay, हाँ. Indus Valley Civilization or Harappan civilization? Harappan civilization. Yeah, the first site which is deciphered. Here comes the role of archaeology. Archaeology क्या होता है? Means you have certain material remains. Means you have houses, you have stones, you have pottery. Pottery means ceramics. You have coins. It's called numismatic. The study of coins is called numismatic. You have certain manuscripts. It's called epigraph. Epigraphy means study of this thing. Okay? So as far as historical sources are concerned, as far as this was the first site to be excavated. There was a gentleman, I'm forgetting his name. He was excavating. Engineer is excavating for railways. This was just an accident. एक बड़ी सी civilization was unearthed. You getting my point? So it was only this civilization which came up by accident. So you can write by like earlier historians had called this civilization the Indus Valley Civilization. But since then, major settlements have been excavated in the Ghaggar-Hakra belt. Ghaggar-Hakra belt. That spread far beyond the Indus region. Paragraph change. Harappa as the first archaeological site. To be discovered. Therefore gives its name to entire civilization. Therefore gives its name to the entire civilization. And it forms the part of Bronze Age. Guys, Bronze Age civilization, Indus Valley civilization and Harappa civilization can be used synonymously. ठीक है? ये पहली चीज होगी. This is the first thing. Second thing is bronze, because bronze sculptures were excavated. How would I know? If you see, we have a constitution ka copy. मान लिया there was a what do you call it, earthquake and the whole nation shattered. खत्म हो गया सब कुछ. वक्त बर्बाद हो गया, सब कुछ बर्बाद हो गया. After 100 or 200 or 2000 years, somebody excavates a copy of Constitution of India. And he says, Article 19(1) में लिखा हुआ है, right to speech and expression. Does that mean speech and expression were not curtailed? कोटाई नहीं होती थी क्या लोगों की? What do you get it ना? Interpretation can be different. After 2000 years, some script might have been deciphered. Doesn't mean that it was जो कह रहा है उसका meaning नहीं है. अब शादी से पहले सभी लोग कहते हैं I love you, this and that. But after the marriage, things change. रस्में वादे and all, whatever. Not everybody is a Shah Rukh Khan. ठीक है? Why? What happened? You guys are into Kantara? So yeah, you get it now? Say, we have the copy of the Constitution after 2000 years. Same, we have a material remain. Material remains such बोलेगा क्योंकि they might have used the same technology, but if they have written something, that doesn't mean they mean it. That doesn't mean they follow it. You're getting my point? समझ रहे हो? It's called critical understanding of the material remains. ठीक हो गया? Okay. So this is about the introduction of the civilization. Moving forward, there are 3 or 4 types of questions which have been asked that we'll be discussing. First thing, about the society of that time period. Then the material culture. What was the did they use copper? Did they use bronze? Did they use gold? To what extent did they use it? What are the geographical areas we are talking about? Let me just show you. Again exit. यार ये भी सीखना पड़ जाएगा पढ़ाई के साथ. But you know, in my thing, like it's like different way, but yeah, कोई बात. Guys, this is the area I'm talking about. I hope guys who are online can see it. 88.8 something. हाँ बेटा ठीक है. Okay, this is the area we are talking about. This is the earliest phase. This is the mid phase, and this is the end phase. By Hindustan आजाद हुआ होगा, India might have been like you go through the videos of 1950s का cannot place. When you come to 80s, then there's a marked continuity and change. Earlier in my area, girls used to wear salwar kameez. Now things change. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Shorts, I'm not judging it, but the point is that's how we change. That's how culture changes. We have Neha Basin, Nahi Jana, she sings. She also sings that she is wearing hair which are like kind of blonde. So there is a cultural dichotomy. What do you mean by dichotomy? Contrast. Yeah, contrast. You have seen Neha Basin? She's very modern kind of, but she sings very traditional songs. Gidda kind of. Okay, so this is the first phase we are talking about. Look at the geographical extent, guys. This is the area I'm talking about, mature Harappan area. The northern part is Manda, it's in Kashmir. Isko dhang se dekh lo. Then the western part is Surkajender, it's in Balochistan area. The eastern part is in modern day Uttar Pradesh, and southern part is Daimabad. I'll make you write it, don't worry. Okay, that's the geographical extent I'm talking about. Okay, the area is surrounded by and is like a well drained by these rivers. For a civilization to flourish, you need food, you need water, you need transportation, you need trade and commerce, you need people who can produce it. So there is a section of potters, there's a section of yes, people like masons, there are sections of people who make those toys and all. Okay, yeah. So guys, that's what we have historically. So somebody might have made it. There is a town, there is a mid-town, and there is this kind of a thing. When this site was excavated, then like when this was being excavated, this was excavated by Britishers. So Britishers were excavating, and there was like barish hoti thi, it used to be filled by water. Okay, अब पानी भर गया तो the people who were excavating, because they were laborers, so they used to bath and used to say murmur, Ram Ram, Sham Sham. That's why they come up with the thing. It might be the great bath. It's just my interpretation, it might be wrong. But आपके लिए prelims के लिए इतना काफी है. You get it right? ठीक है? चलो लिख लो. इसके नीचे change पाएगा. There exists an undeniable cultural continuity. There exists an undeniable continuity among all phases of Harappan civilization. Among all phases of Harappan civilization. Yet, they differ slightly from each other. They differ slightly from each other. The early phase, known as regionalization era, the early phase known as the regionalization era, was the formative proto-urban phase of Harappan civilization. Paragraph change. The mature Harappan phase, or the integration era, was the urban phase of Harappan civilization. I hope I'm not going too fast, guys. ठीक है नहीं please. कहाँ तक लिखा है मैंने? urban phase of Ha, which shows the characteristics of a full-fledged civilization. Of a full-fledged civilization. पूछा बेटा मेरा पेस तेज तो नहीं है? Just let me know. Am I going too fast? जो लिखने में बिजी है शायद. Okay. कहाँ तक थे हम लोग? फुल फ्लेज्ड राइट. हाँ. It is pertinent to note. It is pertinent. Pertinent. Pertinent to note. ठीक है बेटा. That unqualified term Harappan culture और Harappan civilization दोनों में वो है ना सिंगल कोलन. Harappan culture में भी सिंगल कोलन है और Harappan civilization में भी there's a single colon. Primarily refers to the mature Harappan phase or the mature Harappan phase. इसके बाद just change the paragraph. General features of the mature Harappan civilization. Guys, before we start, here is the chronology. It's a very basic thing, but you must know this. There are sites. How do we get to know that the time period is like this? Very good. What is carbon dating? C14 dating. क्या होता है कि हर चीज में कार्बन इकट्ठा होता रहता है. Everything in this world has a carbon content in this. So we know that okay, this much carbon content was 100 years back, 1000 years back, or 2000 years back. That's how we. और किसी डेड बॉडी होती है तो 3 दिन पहले हमारा कैसे पता चलता है? If somebody has done like shooting कर रहा तो लेफ्ट हाथ में लगाएगा तो he might be a left-handed person or right man. It's more of a investigative journalism. Sherlock Holmes. How many of you are into Shirley Sheldon? अरे पढ़ते भी हो तुम लोग? No Sherlock Holmes no. अच्छा more into okay good. आगे जाओगे तुम. So guys, this is the early Indus Valley Civilization, early phase of it, like 3300 BC to 2600 BC, the early. See, what happens is, how do nation develop? American civilization developed in 15th century when America was discovered. By whom? Columbus. Then after 500 years, that's the most developed nation. Initially तो वो लोग वही थे ना, vagabonds from कहाँ से भेजे थे? यूरोप के जितने भी मवाली थे, all were settled to. That's how Australia. That's why Australian people are so rough. जितने default चलते सबको भेज देते थे कहाँ? Captain Cook Island जो भी है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. Same with America also. So gradually they developed 16th, 17th, 18th century. 300 सालों में they have developed a lot. That doesn't mean they are not developed, but it's a gradual process. The civilization, Indus Valley Civilization, earlier they had small production units. Then it gradually increased. That's what we say. Small scale industries get into bigger startups. Then we become unicorns and all. It's a gradual evolution. If I use the term, तुम लोग पहले हाथ से चलते थे. Then तुम लोग खड़े हो गए, फिर बड़े हुए, फिर तुम लोगों ने स्मार्टफोन यूज कर दिया और तुम लोग हाथ से निकल गए. That's how the trajectory is. Even I also in that. I'm not Gen Z, but it is yes. You get it? Now the technology. And please, before we get into the details of it, don't look at it from a perspective of today. Just look at it 2500 साल पहले, 25 years, 100 years ago. Even our dada did not have tractor wala phone. So things were very different. You getting it? So look at it from that perspective. It becomes interesting, less boring. It becomes more understanding. 3 phases. Earlier phase is 3300 to 600 BC. उल्टा चलते हैं हम लोग. क्यों चलते हैं उल्टा?
We count from back to now.
Basically, there is a snapback before Christ, so that they know that the Christ birth date. That is why it's backward, and then it goes. Christ
before the birth of Jesus Christ, we go पीछे. ठीक है? Then we go सीधा. The earlier phase when it was developing. अब भाई घर में Lamborghini गाड़ी कब आती है? When we have surplus. Ambani can have hundreds of them. I may not, because I don't have surplus. Surplus of mudra. Mudra means dhan. Dhan means money. You're getting it? If I have money, I would have bought 3. So the same goes with that also. See, I give you example of how many metropolitan cities do we have in our nation? Yeah.
India is
6. And what are the regional, like Chandigarh is rising, Indore is rising? Why? How do you define the development? Education, health sector. अब उस टाइम पे जी transportation, surplus production, transportation because of the trade and commerce. First, I'll produce for myself, then I'll increase it. I'll increase the scale, then I'll what do you call it? Barters would be there. There were seals, so they could transact through those seals. Smaller things. हम लोग को लगता है it's very easy, but the point is you look at it from that perspective. So that like seals become very important, standardized seals. What seal we found here? We found the same seal here also. So there is an interlinkage. The seal of the same quality, quantity of metal, whatever, is found in Ropar region in Punjab, is found in Lothal region also. Lothal is a dockyard in Gujarat. करेंगे उसको, ठीक है? चलो. General features of the mature Harappan phase. Okay. Archaeological evidence reveals a great deal about. Archaeological evidence reveals a great deal about Harappan civilization. Cultural and technological developments. Yeah, bilkul true. Archaeological evidence reveals a great deal about Harappan civilization, which is marked by both cultural homogeneity, as well as diversity. There is still no totally accepted theory. On the origin of Harappan culture, but generally it is believed to have emerged from pre-Harappan indigenous village culture. Pre-Harappan/indigenous village culture. Guys, I'll give it to you, but the point is, there's no point because these are just mere facts. I don't want to bombard you with the facts. The northernmost part of this civilization is Manda. इसको ना ऐसे लिख लो, ऐसे east, west, north, south कर लो. Northernmost कर दो Manda. Manda is in Kashmir. Easternmost कर दो आलमगीरपुर. देखो, आलमगीरपुर कहाँ पर है? उत्तर प्रदेश में. Westernmost part is Sukajadar. If you could see, it's in Balochistan. Sorry, Manda, Alamgirpur is this. Look at this. Ropar is in Punjab. Alamgirpur, बच्चे ये है. I'll show you. ये. Sorry, Sukajadar. It's the western. मतलब हमें कैसे? How do we know? Some remains might have been, some structures, archaeological evidences, or sites might have been there. Okay. So UPSC has asked about this question. I'll get into this. They've asked about, was Desalpur also a site of Harappan civilization? Right? I'll make you write all these things, but the point is, just have an idea. Rangpur, Lothal, this is the dockyard area. Okay? Yeah. So that's what we say, that Rakhigadi and these areas were surplus producing areas. That's how they produce their surplus. That's how we have this much, because sustenance of the civilization has to be on the basis of sound economic basis. Economic base in the sense we have trade transaction with the contemporary civilizations. Who were the contemporary civilizations? Very good. बहुत intelligent बच्चे. Mesopotamian, Sumerian civilization. Where was it? Yes, Egypt. कहाँ पर Egypt? Middle East, Maghreb region. Maghreb means the south part of Mediterranean. Yes, the area. Okay. समझ गए? Okay. Now right. ये तो लिख दिया हमने east, west, north, south. कैसे लिखा है? Maps play a very important role, guys. तो इसको हाँ ठीक हो गया. दिखाओ. हाँ ठीक है. Okay. It's for your understanding before prelims. Town planning.
The last one is southern, which is the last.
Okay, yeah. It's Malvan. Sutkajendor. Sorry, it's what do you call it? Daimabad. Daimabad is in Maharashtra. Daimabad. D-A-I-M-A-B-A-D. Daimabad. It's in present day Maharashtra. इसके बाद लिखो टाउन प्लानिंग. Harappan civilization is known for its urban outlook and sophisticated sense of civic urban outlook and sophisticated sense of sophisticated sense of civic planning and organization. In most cases, full stop करके यहाँ, in most cases, the Harappan city was divided into two parts. Was divided into two parts. The citadel. What do you mean by citadel? This is the lifted part. इसके आगे टिक कर लो. Then right, this part occupied a smaller area. This part occupied a smaller area and was frequently situated to the west of the city. Guys, this is just for reference. See, if we see a construction among the things which is at the higher platform, what does that mean? Maybe. If we have smaller patches of houses followed by bigger houses, that means कुछ लोग छोटे रहे होंगे, कुछ मजदूर रहे होंगे. They might have been people who might have been doing their mundane work of like masons. They might have been priests who might be staying here, or rulers, whatever. Okay. Then we had bigger houses. Then we had town plannings. We'll get into that also. So everything. There was a question in the mains UPSC 2017 that what can we learn from the what can present day civic bodies learn from the town planning of Indus Valley Civilization? Batao.
The China is also a great example because in the Indus Valley Civilization where we say that the poor middle class and high class was living together in the same area. And same again with China. And the drainage system is also exactly like kind of systematized. For example, that is what you can study in the state system planning. That is how we do it. So it is a great example. Yeah,
I agree. No buildings after 2 floors, like elaborate towns, like a bigger, what do you call it? Roads, bylanes. Yes. What can we learn, like as far as twin cities are concerned?
Actually, we have in Harappan civilization, we talk about the roads they laid and the sewage, the bathing area, the way they constructed represents they have a very good knowledge of geometry.
Yeah, I agree.
And coming to sanitation, they have cleaning pathways, like to see, and they have a proper drainage.
Grid system also, like they have this system. So every road is transacting the other road. Every house has a systematic, ventilation. Every house has a drainage. And I'm talking about 2500 years ago. Even that is not there in my village. Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes to ceramics, what do you mean by ceramics? Mud or pot. So what is the relevance of ceramic or pot or what do you call it? Pottery? What is the relevance of it, ma'am? क्या मतलब जरूरत क्या थी pottery की?
Basically, it's a good spot for refrigerators to keep water and.
Actually, the thing is like.
एक बार मैम सोचो पेपर में सोचना ही पड़ेगा. The present day we are using it for cooking, water, storage of. We did not have fridges na at that point of time. All we had like mice was a problem. चूहे तो काफी ज़्यादा जीते ना. So they might have kept it for recreation purposes because there are types of potteries. Some potteries are normal potteries. I'll show it to you. Some potteries are very designed. They have been polished, and those polishes stay still today. This stays after 25 years. Had it been 25, even the houses don't stay today. So साल बाद पता नहीं क्या हो जाए हमारे buildings का. समझ रहे हो ना? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. And if they are polishing it, they might know about the polishing. If they are using beads, lapis lazuli, girls know better about it. इतने खूबसूरत those I don't know carbuncles and whatnot. I'll show it to you. I mean, I don't know, lapis lazuli, beads and all. They might be doing transactions because it was very much in demand in Egypt, Iran.
Turkey.
Yeah, you're getting it, now. Anyway, where were we? Citadel raised platform. The part occupied a smaller area. कहाँ पर थे हम लोग? Okay, full stop. Rulers of the city lived here. Rulers, storage, yeah, beta. बिल्कुल सही. Storage and recreation, like there were types of potteries, no? Okay. Rulers of the city lived here, full stop. It also contained public buildings, granaries. It also contained public buildings, granaries, and important workshops, full stop. Paragraph change. lower part, इसके नीचे underline कर दो, lower part. The common citizenry lived and carried on their professional lives in this part of the city. Full stop. Next paragraph. City planning roughly followed a grid pattern. And streets ran from north and cut at the right angle.
Up to east.
Not true. Cut at the right angles. Full stop. Distinguishing aspects of Harappan town planning are point number 1, the streets were wide. Point number 2, there were lamp posts at intervals. Next, they used burnt bricks of good quality. Guys, what is burnt brick? Fire. And this was not there in the contemporary civilizations. हम लोग तो ये भी कह सकते हैं ना कि it was a contemporary or it was offshoot of Mesopotamian civilization. But Mesopotamian civilization uses normal brick. It's only the Indus Valley Civilization which used burnt brick. Again, I'm talking about that period where it was a luxury. Burnt करने के लिए उसको technology चाहिए ना, you need technology for that. Even that wasn't used in the contemporary civilizations. So there's a marked distinction. ठीक है? Okay. कहाँ तक लिखा है आपने? Of good quality. They had an excellent drainage. System made of lime and gypsum. Now another heading, society. Harappan society was an urban society. Comprising mostly the middle classes. The houses excavated suggest at least 3 distinct social groups. The ruled, rich merchants and poor laborers who lived in the lower part of the city. Next, the Harappans were great experts in use of pottery or potter's wheel. Full stop. Primarily red black pottery was popular. Some of these pots were used for storing grain and water, while some were probably used for brewing fermented alcoholic beverages. Guys, if you look at the pottery of that civilization, so we had different type of potteries, but the point is, in many pottery we see there is a hole from two sides. Like this is the pottery, and there are holes, like for making of buttermilk, ghee. ऐसा हो सकता है because they might have took the milk and ऐसे तो करते हैं हम लोग करते हैं. Buttermilk means ghee. So butter, ghee, charge. That's what you can. So perforated jars and those jars. So pottery was used by different people with different for different works. कहाँ तक लिखा हो? Beverages. Okay. A lot of next paragraph. A lot of terracotta has been found. A lot of terracotta has been found at many sites. Including figurines of animals, such as bulls, buffalo, dogs, monkey. Terracotta bangles have also been found. Terracotta bangles. At Alahadino, there's a site called Alahadino near Karachi. A lot of necklaces made of gold, silver, and semi-precious stones have been found. Next, copper, bronze, silver, copper, bronze, silver, gold were metals known and used. Metals known and used. By Harappans. But iron was not. And what is the iron age? Vedic age. That's in text we use the word ayask. Ayask means iron. Okay, so it wasn't. Okay, guys, iska relevance here, this site ka. These are the areas where we find certain things. It's very factual, but very important from the prelims perspective. Isko aap likh lo or screenshot le lo. I'll give it to you. That's not a problem. So in Haryana we have sites like Banavali, which is on the banks of Ghaggar. Okay, then we have barley grains, lapis lazuli. What is lapis lazuli, by the way? वो नीला सा नहीं होता पत्थर, blue. You can Google it, but the point is it's a bluish What's is different, but the point is, yeah, lapis lazuli is a blue stone, very like जो बीच में लगता है किसी जो लड़कियां पहनती है ना, what do you call it, necklace के बीच में लगता है. It's very bluish, very it looks very good. ठीक है. So we have sites like Rakhigadi and Banavali. So these are factual parts. Okay. As far as Rakhigadi is concerned, it's the largest Indian site of this civilization where we have greenery, symmetry, drain, terracotta. Okay. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, is the where is Alamgirpur? Is the westernmost site. Okay. Then we have broken copper plates. These are factual details. You must also understand and know. What do you find in Rakhigadi? It's a largest Indian site, and it has greenery. It has terracotta bricks also. As far as Daimabad is concerned, it has a bronze image of charioteer and chariot. So these are factual details, but very important from the prelims perspective. Who discovered when? This is not asked in UPSC, but the point is, yeah, that's the city kind of. That's what we saw in. So then we have Harappa, the largest site, the first site to be this thing. So it has a granary, it has bullock carts. Then we have Sukkajendra, which is the westernmost site. It has a trade point between Harappa and Babylon. Babylon कहाँ पर है? Babylonia. The Spanish empire used to expand. Okay. Kalibangan. Kalibangan is in Rajasthan. We have fire altar. A fire altar का मतलब क्या होता है? Yeah. Yeah, kind of. We have wooden plow. And then we have Lothal. Lothal was a dockyard. Okay. Yeah. Where is Dholavira? No. Rajasthan mein. See, water harvesting is very important. The place is important for the water harvesting thing. They have a water reservoir because they are in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is still a water deficit area. You get it? You look at this is something which you can find in any book. But the point is, look at the way they are. They have made certain things. The bricks are burnt properly, arranged. You have a proper area. You have a, like, if you look at from a different perspective, then it looks very like, and most of the areas are covered, are fortified. What do you mean by fortification?
Big walls.
Big walls. Why do they had big walls? To protect themselves from invasions. भाई किसी के भी घर में बिजनेस अच्छा चल रहा होता है तो बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंग्स बना ही लेते हैं so that people don't loot his or her surplus property. Okay. Look at this, the drainage. I mean, it's if you look at it from a perspective that neither the modern transportation nor cranes, nothing was available at that point of time. Still, they had this sophistication which lasts so longer. इसमें से पानी जाता होगा तो इधर-उधर बहता होगा, है ना? और बीच में से they might have been something before it, covered it. So time के साथ-साथ people and people of India and Pakistan are Japani, so they वो चोरी करके भी ले गए उनकी चीजें. We are talking about so still this much remains is itself as a you see what happened used to happen was there was in Agra में क्या है? Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal had lapis lazulis. What is lapis lazuli? The blues, those carbuncles, those gold, engraved. लोग उठा के लेके जाते थे. The people used to come in 1930s, 1920s. So they used to like तभी उसमें क्या कर दिया उन्होंने? आपने अगर आप गए हो, have you been to Taj Mahal? अकेले किसी के साथ? नहीं आजकल तो सब चलता है आजकल तो. Okay. So I'm not questioning you. No. When I was 24, मैं जमीन से इतने ऊपर चलता था. जमीन पे चलता ही था. I used to be in Hansraj. I used to be like Shahrukh Khan. I used to think that मैं यूं जो हूँ बस. टाइम के बाद दाढ़ी सफेद हो जाती थी. You understand? अरे यार. You're not Shahrukh Khan. You might be Fawad Khan. Just kidding. So yeah, time has their own this thing. So I used to think that college में and all used to go parties and all. Parties तो खैर अभी मैं करता हूँ बहुत. But the point is, I used to be a very happy person. Still I am. But the point is, life makes you so cynical. And thanks to the UPSC. You have to sit, you have to be patient, and also like apart from your hard work, luck also matters. And a lot of things is like a lot of my friends are like most of them are from campus are into services, but even they're not very happy. So it's just that don't इसको ना ज़्यादा अगर तुम डर रहे हो तो तुम्हें डर लग रहा है it's not worth it. You'll be an SP of a district, and mind you, I used to have pistol in my. I used to be Sidhu Moosewala of CISF. So it's just that it doesn't feel good sometimes. Really, my father was in army, like my family has been in army, but the point is, sometimes it's just, you have to have a life. You still have to have a life, abhi. Because if you don't enjoy your struggle, then you will not enjoy anything in your life. You will be having like batti wali gaadi, and in your time period when you will be getting into IAS, aur hawabazi badh jayegi. You understand what hawabazi means? So, but the point is, you have to respect this time also. कि यार मेरा जो time खराब चल रहा है, no. You have to enjoy the struggle also. That's what my teachers, when I got into PCAPF, my friend said कि अब तो तेरी life खत्म हो गई भाई. मैंने क्या हो गया भाई? जब मैं गया तो मुझे पता चला it's very hard. Stars are very heavy यार. Stars are very heavy. So it's a responsibility. तुम्हें वहाँ ऐसे जाकर नहीं आइए बन के वहाँ तुम बैठ जाओ तुम्हारी पूजा करेंगे लोग. ऐसा नहीं होगा ना? You'll have to work. You have to do the elections. अभी देखो IAS officers कैसे भाग रहे होंगे इधर से उधर. Elections are there. So you will not be able to sleep. You think that you will not be able to sleep now, then you'll be having additional responsibilities. Here you have responsibilities of your own only. एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट के अंदर कितने डिपार्टमेंट होते हैं? How many? भाई पबैट पढ़ा यार तुमने थोड़ा सा. Big words. 32. ठीक है. So sometimes you won't be able to sleep because of the work pressure. But the point is, तुमने choose किया वो life. अब हवाज़ी दिखानी है तो पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा भाई. You're getting it. If you have a Batman, you've seen Batman movie. He says that with great powers comes the. Sorry, that's. I don't know. Matlab it's a superhero kind of, na? Yes, yeah. I'm open to criticism. That's not a problem. Open to corrections. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. ठीक है, guys, you get it right. आगे बढ़े. बहुत हो गई उसकी बातें. हम लोग what did we write in the last this thing? Okay. As far as script is concerned, next paragraph. The Harappan script was pictographic. Was Pictographic. Written from right to left. Right to left. It has not been deciphered till now. Interpretation नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. ठीक है? It has, the Harappan script has not been interpreted or deciphered till now or so far. You can also use left to right. So sorry, right to left and left to right. दोनों से लिखते थे, right. But it has not been deciphered, guys. The point is, मैंने वही कहा तुम लोगों से, जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की कॉपी खो गई थी, that's what I was talking about. So either they will not be able to understand what we write. If they are able to understand, as we understand Vedic culture, we understand all the slokas. That's how we know na कि Upanishads में this was written, or Aryankas or Rig Veda में these things have been written in Sanskrit. You see, there was a song called सासों की माला में सिमरू में तेरा नाम किसने लिखा है? बताओ भाई, कि गाया किसने ये बताओ? मुसफ़्फ़त अली खान? सासों की माला में सिमरू में तेरा नाम आपने सुना नहीं शायद. Anyway, this was written by Meera, sung by a Pakistani. Malik Mohammed Jaisi wrote which book? Padmavat किसने लिखी है? Padmavat movie तो देखी होगी तुमने? Padmavat is written by Malik Mohammed Jaisi in 14th century, and Malik Mohammed Jaisi was a practicing Muslim, writes in Braj Bhasha about Padmavati, a Hindu woman. So that's the culture, you see. All the Punjabi Gidda, half of them are Urdu kind of. Punjab is here, Urdu, like Pakistan is there. Cut to Pakistanis, like Bari song is in Punjabi. You see, that's the way. Anyway, chalo, economy के बारे में लिखो. The inferences about Harappan economy have been, inference means interpretations, or the way you about the Harappan economy have been derived from its flourishing trade relations with its contemporary Mesopotamian, Okay. Its flourishing trade relations with its contemporary, क्या हो गया? Okay. Mesopotamian, Persian civilizations, full stop. Persian civilizations. The Mesopotamians called the Indus region Meluha. The Mesopotamians called the Indus region Meluha. How do we know that we had trade relations with them?
Like the coins which were found, which were used here, have been found that their coins have been found here.
Okay.
And in their inscription also there is some information.
Yeah, it's very crude experiences, like somebody's having an affair with some girl and girl denies, so they'll be having conversations, no? Messages and all, which you guys are very much, तुम लोग को ज़्यादा पता है, Instagram stories, snaps. I don't even know how do snaps work. कि वो एक ही बारी में भेजना पड़ता है ना शायद. Good. You are of my caste. Very good. You see, back in our days, we used to go out, like, talk to girls. Now it's more of a piche se and all. I used to have it. I used to be more into, like, every day you go out and, you know, okay, I want to talk to you and stuff like this. But the point is, that shows your character, that you have guts. If somebody rejects it, it's okay. Next. That's how you learn. Guys should be told how to approach. लड़कों को आदमी को पता ही नहीं है. So it's just that I was in a better position, like we were. So anyway, guys, as far as their this thing is concerned, I'll show it to you. Beats के बारे में तो मैं बता दिया थोड़ा सा, but Dholavira, Amri, Lothal. Guys, please remember these things. So these are the trade centers, and okay, so we had trade relation with Persia, this area, Egypt, Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is present day Iran, Iraq area. You get it? So they might be having trading relations with these areas. So that's how we found ना seals मिलते हैं, coins मिलते हैं, उधर के इधर, इधर के उधर. Okay. Yeah. Dholavira. Stay in the moment. Stay here. Don't stay in your mobile phones. People say that, okay, I remember that fact. Sir, आपने बताया था कालिदास ने ऋतु संहारा लिखा है, कालिदास ने what do you call it? Malvika Agnimitram लिखा हुआ है. But the point is, why don't you remember in that time? Because very much we are into mode. We are not letting this, if it's a mobile, then we are not letting us interpret the world ourselves. 1 minute. That's what, you know, in the exam you're alone. Then you think, तुम सोचो कि तुम्हारा direction सही नहीं निकलेगा. In exam you'll be having exam stress. Abnormal situation में अगर आप डर जाओ, which is perfectly fine. But the point is, to what extent the cutoff is 88, guys. That makes it, ज़्यादातर लोग गलती कर रहे हैं. 88 अगर cutoff जा रहा है, चलो मान लिया 90 जा रहा है, 95 जा रहा है, तो भी तो 50% से नीचे ही है ना. And there are people who are scoring 120 plus also. You don't have to compare, you just have to qualify. But the point is, वहाँ पर याद क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Keep your mobile aside for 10 minutes, for half an hour. I call it digital fasting. I practice it even now, today. I don't have my mobile with me. That makes me think about myself, have that positive energy in me. Mindfulness. How do you define mindfulness? I'm with you. I'm talking to you. I'm not thinking about something else. You're getting my point? पढ़ना भी ऐसा ही है. Oh my God, मेरे तो आधे लोग फोन लेके पढ़ते हैं. I don't know how do you study. You jot them down ना. अच्छा ठीक है. Notification टक पे आ रहा है. How do you study? I don't understand. We did not used to have those distractions. You guys have. It's a boon also. It's a bane also. You're getting it? It's apart from syllabus. I don't think what I'm teaching will not be taught in any class or YouTube anywhere. But the point is, take this thing. Everything is within you. वहाँ पर वो आंसर, अरे पॉलिटी का आंसर गलत कर दिया बच्चा यार. Article 19, right to the First Amendment. Why? Because उसी दिन उसको आदत पड़ गई कि उसी दिन उसने 2 घंटे विदाउट मोबाइल रहना है. Right? Practice it. ठीक है? As far as I had some pictures of those seals also होगा तो. Yeah. Here brings me the question of Pashupati seal and other seals. How do you see? How do you interpret these seals? ये animals हुआ करते थे. What is this? What is this? Kind of. What is this? Okay. What are these? Like parrots. Some are fishes. So they knew harpoons. They used to catch fishes. They used to eat fishes. That means they were non-vegetarians. These are the ones. They might be eating cows also, or they might be eating bulls also. So that's how we understand them. एक बार फिर से देखो. एक और वो लिखो, हड़प्पन सील्स, सब हेडिंग. Harappan seals. लिखो, seals hold a special importance in the Harappan context. Hold a special significance in the Harappan context. Full stop. Every merchant probably had a seal bearing an emblem, comma, often a religious character, and a name, colon, brief description on one side. Brief description on one side. The standard Harappan seal was square, made of steatite, steatite, steatite stone. The key aspect of the Harappan trade networks are, इसके नीचे इसको जो इसमें इसको टिक कर दो और इसके नीचे लिखो, they carried out internal and external trade. They carried out internal and external trade. Seals. Please have a look. What all animals do you see and how do you interpret them? Your own interpretation. Kind of. Do you see Pashupati in Hindu culture also? What is Pashupati in Nepal? Pashupati is Shiv. Shiv is in Vedic culture. So we have relation with Vedic culture also. Okay. Then we have, what is this? This is right, kind of. So, I mean, there is a male deity. You understand? Female deities are also there. We'll get into that also. What is this? This? These are seals. That's how we understand that these people had knowledge. You're getting it? Huh? एक बार फिर से इत्मीनान से देख लो इसको. What is this fish? Yeah. Yogi posturing. He is having his this thing. And what are the animals? Please look at this picture specifically. बड़ा कर दूं? ऐसे होता है. Yeah. This is very important. That may come in the questions. है ना? थोड़ा पानी पी लेगा. वो हाँ साफ दिख रहा है. A rhino, elephant. Then, what is this? A person sitting in a yoga posture. What does that mean? Samadhi kind of, that shows a religious connotation, a religious posturing. This religious posturing is in Upanishads. Upanishads means what? Sitting with somebody. I'm sitting with somebody. Guru बोल रहा है और बच्चा ज्ञान ले रहा है. So various interpretations. ये questions में आता है. देखो यार, these pictures will stay in your head if you are here. Then the question will come that did they know about horse? Is there horse here? Chariots है. तो chariots को तो बुल भी खींच सकता है. हाँ जी. Okay. These pictures show what? Swastik is related to which religion? ठीक है. अब कहां पर तक पहुंचे हो बताओ. They carried out internal and external trade. लिखा? Okay. There was no metallic money in circulation. There was no metallic money in circulation. क्या बोल रहा बच्चा? Swastik बेटा, हाँ, yeah. Swastik is Hindu, yeah, indeed. And trade was conducted by means of barter. What is barter? Exchange. हाँ पूरा हिंदू ही है. Swastik is Hindu, taken by Germans also. Okay. Full stop. Inland transport primarily employed bullock carts. Next, there were bead making factories at Chanhudaro and Lothal. There were bead making factories at Chanhudaro and Lothal. Lothal कहाँ पर था? राजस्थान तो गुजरात. Okay. Chanhudaro का spelling क्या है? CHANHUDARO. Full stop. The products of these factories were items of export. Next, a dockyard has been excavated in Lothal, and seaports have been found at Rangpur, Somnath, and Balakot. Next, Harappan religion. Harappan civilization is considered as a secular society as not a single structure qualifying a temple has been found. Full stop. Sacred ritual spots included the Great Bath at Mohenjodaro, where the elite in all likelihood undertook ritual activity that included ceremonial bathing, full stop. Idolatry was practiced. The Harappan people generally worshipped mother goddess, then Pashupati Mahadev or Proto Shiva, and Proto Shiva, Lingam or phallus, and Yoni worship, cult of fertility, and Yoni worship as cult of fertility. People tree, humped bull which is having a hump, birds, dove and pigeon, or dove as you call them, dove or pigeon, one-horned unicorn, okay. Next, other key inferences about Harappan religious practices. I repeat, other key inferences about Harappan religious practices are, next fire altars which have been found in Kalibangan and Lothal. Fire altars which have been found in Kalibangan and Lothal. The seal of Pashupati Mahadev is surrounded by an elephant, a tiger, और क्या है तुम लोग बताओ. अच्छा, और डियर और बफेलो था. अच्छा ठीक है गाइस, अभी तक जो मैंने पढ़ाया कुछ समझ में आया कि कथा चल रही है? मुझे बेटा पता, आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रीच और टीच? अभी वो लिख रही है शायद, शी इज राइटिंग सही. अच्छा ओके यार, आई एम तो नॉट इनटू, मेरे को तो टाइप भी करना बड़ी मुश्किल से सीखा आजकल, तो मैं तो वॉइस मैसेज ही भेज देता हूँ. आई एम नॉट इनटू राइटिंग मैसेजेस एंड ऑल. हमारे टाइम में टक से कॉल कर, टक से रिजेक्ट हो, दोबारा ट्राई करो, तो कोई टेंशन नहीं. खैर बेटा, ये जस्ट लुक एट दिस terracotta, whatever. Whenever I heard about this, you see, I hope it makes it makes sense that how civilization evolved over time, how we interpret the sources, how a civilization got into a civilizational mode starting from very scratch. I gave you the example. Where is the geographical boundary? East, west, north, and south. Connecting it with the present day world. Okay, you're getting it. You got the examples. Chichore example bhi ho to I don't think it's not worth mentioning, but it should stick in your head. First thing. Second thing is there has to be a logical understanding between 1 and 2 and 3. It shouldn't be कि यार Kalibangan ऐसा नहीं चलेगा यार. The pictures has to be, क्योंकि pictorial memory होता है ना, वो चलना चाहिए. ठीक है? Is writing something? अच्छा ठीक है बेटा. Okay. Other inferences of religious हो गया, लोथल का हो गया, buffalo. Okay, we have rhino, we have buffalo, we have deer. Okay. In Kalibangan, small circular pits containing large urns, URNS, and pottery. Large urns and pottery have been found. Guys, इसको लिख लो, गोल्ड लिख लो, कॉपर लिख लो, लापिस lazuli लिख लो, एंड ये स्टेटाइट लिख लो बस. जस्ट राइट गोल्ड, कॉपर, लापिस lazuli एंड स्टेट आईडी. शायद प्रीलिम्स में ऐसा कुछ, क्योंकि लास्ट ईयर वाज बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म दैट वाज आस्क्ड. अभी मैं करता हूं उसके बारे में बात. जस्ट बी सिलेक्टिव एज फार एज योर नोट्स मेकिंग इज कंसर्न्ड. खेतरी माइंस इज कॉपर. खेतरी माइंस में ना कॉपर आता था, लिखा हुआ इसमें कॉपर. हाँ ये तो है खेतरी. वो जो आप ज्योग्राफी का क्वेश्चन जिक्र कर रहे हो. अच्छा, आई एम ओपन टू करेक्शन एज आई सेड, बट वो मुझे सोर्स चाहिए कि वो एनसीईआरटी में था कि वो किसी कोचिंग के मटेरियल में था. अच्छा फिर ठीक है, अब ले आना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. देयर वाज आई वाज लाइक टेकिंग अ डिस्कशन इन फोरम, सो दैट गर्ल केम विद कि ए दो जगह दे रखा है. शी वाज राइट, वो दो जगह अलग अलग दे रखा था. फर्स्ट विमेन डॉक्टर ऑफ इंडिया, physicist. So she was like somewhere it was given like different, somewhere it was given different. तो क्योंकि मैं दो सोर्सेस फॉलो करता हूँ, एक मेरे ऑप्शनल वाले, एक जो जेनरिक जो बच्चे पढ़ते हैं. हमारे यहाँ तो ये चलता है कि अच्छा इसने कहा कि यहाँ पर टाउन प्लानिंग था, दूसरा कहेगा नहीं था, तीसरा कहेगा कि था ऐसा वैसा. यू नो देयर आर ऑल डिबेट्स, आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू दैट. ठीक है, ओके. अब भाई एग्रीकल्चर में आ जाओ. एग्रीकल्चर, हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन वाज द अर्लीस्ट नोन सिविलाइजेशन टू प्रोड्यूस कॉटन. To produce cotton. Cotton was known as Sindon, S-I-N-D-O-N. Cotton was known as Sindon. Cotton was known as Sindon. S-I-N-D-O-N. So, Harappans grew wheat in मेहरगढ़. मेहरगढ़ अफगानिस्तान में एक जगह, मेहरगढ़ के पास में लिख दो, बलूचिस्तान के पास लिख दो. मेहरगढ़ की स्पेलिंग है MEHRGARH. मेहरगढ़. Harappans grew wheat, especially in मेहरगढ़, barley, horse gram, melon, watermelon, dates, millets, grapes, garlic, mustard and rice. Rice के बाद लिखना लोथल. Okay, Harappans domesticated animals. Next say, Harappans domesticated animals on a large scale. क्यों डोमेस्टिकेट करते थे भाई? Why? अच्छा, और all kind of possibilities. Want to add something? नहीं, ठीक है, इसके बाद अब यही शक्ल है भाई, अब यही देखनी पड़ेगी आपको. So I cannot change it. So it's just that, yeah. इसकी किस्मत में जो है भाई 10-15 दिन तो झेलना ही पड़ेगा. तो एक जमाना था हम भी जवान हुआ करते थे बेटा. क्या धन्यवाद. चलो अच्छे. Now the point is, you see, I take inspiration from sir always. The enthusiasm kind of thing ना, तो हाँ ये भी good. But you see, how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. जॉब का क्या है? इनको तो मैं पूछ नहीं सकता ना तुम कितने उम्र के हो. लड़के को नहीं पूछ सकते ना भाई. समझ रहे हो ना? Sorry?
When he said भाषा तो बोलते, how can you say? He's just.
Yes. I understood it when I went to like Kashmir. Life is very precious, bhai. Like we ask people कि अभी कौन निपटा, अभी कौन, like casualty they call it. They call it कि कितने down हो गए. And I come from Uttarakhand, so we have this like family thing. Ki even Punjabis also have this. Lot of Punjabi friends and all. So like कौन मरा भाई, कौन निपट गया, किसका क्या टूट गया and all. Then I realized कि यार UPSC करते थे हम लोग. I used to think that यार ये life है. You are free ना. You cannot go outside. I was in Bandipora. There's a project called Kishan Ganga Hydroelectronic Project. You've seen, you might have heard about it. So it's between India and Pakistan. There's a huge this thing. And Bandipora was a highly military-driven area. So we had just, because I was in CISF, but we were not in trade. But the point is, we had right across our battalion, we had CRPF and then RR, Rashtriya Rifles. So every day used to be contacts with the militants and all. So from my village also, there were like so many people. They used to go and they used to tell me, "Bhai, आज तो इतने निपटा दिए." मैंने कहा, "भाई तुम मत पड़ जाना, बाकी तो सब ठीक है." So life is like that only. Because every day we think ना, गौतम बुद्ध क्या कहते थे? जब तक जीवन है तब तक संघर्ष है. Suffering. Till you will die, there will be sufferings. I did not realize when I was in 20s and I used to like, ignorance is bliss, you see. That's how a lot of people who are in their 20s, na, early 20s, they get through. उनको डर ही नहीं है. आप समझ रहे हो ना? When you don't have fear, ना, kids are like, आग में जाएंगे, यहाँ कूद जाएंगे, वहाँ गिर जाएंगे, उनको कोई घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Why? Because they don't know it. That's why they're happy. If you know it, then you think, oh my God, this and that. Anyway, Harappans domesticated animals on a larger scale, besides oxen, cattle, oxen, buffaloes, goats. Humped bulls, sheep, pigs, cats and dogs. Okay, guys, decline. Everything has to decline. So as this civilization, different scholars have different interpretations. You see, Fairchild and all, they were pretty, like some of the Japanese scholars also. You see, जब हिंदुस्तान में Megasthenes आया था ना, Megasthenes comes from where specifically? Greece से आया था Megasthenes. कहीं आप अंग्रेज देखोगे, when Britishers or English people come here, English people are more into themselves. There is a culture in our nation. कि मतलब लोग mixed with people. You don't see these people mixing with others. Like आपके कुछ family वाले कनाडा में रह रहे होंगे तो no, they don't mix with people. Britishers don't mix, or Spanish people don't mix, or Spanish people do mix, but Germans don't mix. So there's a culture. So their interpretation comes from their understanding. अब भाई मैं मान लिया I come from like Uttarakhand. So the point is I walk a lot, but Delhi people don't. वो घर से भी वो नीचे से ऐसे खींच के वो नीचे से लाते हैं. We don't. I don't have a problem staying in third floor because I can try. That is not a problem with me. But that's culture. You get it? So these people interpreted from their point of view. Megasthenes ने बोला हिंदुस्तान में चोरी नहीं होती, बोला कि इतनी कास्ट है. Because he's looking at it from a different perspective. You get it? Okay. So Aryan invasion happened because just after 17th century, this civilization declined. And 15th century we have Aryans or Vedic people. Will बस 10-15 मिनट और मैं पकड़ूंगा और इस हो रहा है. अच्छा. Okay. So I mean. Some Mortimer Wheeler and Gordon Childe says Gordon Childe was a very much anthropologist, and historically he was also like very important. I did not tell you about how Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic people evolved because I don't think you guys are not newbies, so I refrain from explaining that. Some people say that because of floods, because that area is a flood-prone region, ऐसा हो सकता है कि 2500 years ago सूखा भी पड़ सकता है. So these are the different interpretations. Might be asked. ठीक है, आप इसको देख लो. Ecological disturbances said by Fairchild. इन लोगों के आर्गुमेंट्स हम लोग पढ़ते हैं ऑप्शन में. I don't think there's a need. जो मुझे important लगा is this. What is the difference between Harappan civilization and the contemporary civilizations? Planned, the towns are planned with chessboard system and drainage is very good. That's how we know that these are distinct civilizations. Okay. First is the town planning. Meticulously planned, not haphazard planning is there. Rectangular housing, absent. Rectangular housing कैसे होगी? कैसे होता है? Pottery, no signs. Script, इनकी interpretation हो चुका है. हमारा नहीं हुआ. Seals, here also. If we do not know it, then we don't say it. ठीक है? इसमें कोई doubt हो? नहीं? अब बताओ भाई. देख ले, चीटिंग तो नहीं कर रहे सिंगम तुम लोग? चीटिंग तो नहीं कर रहे? Which of the following ancient towns is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting? Pooja? Yes. Open to MCQ. That's what you will do on 26th of Dholavira. Sure. Kali Bangan का मतलब है काला बैंगल. Just remember that. राखी गढ़ी इज इन वेयर? हरियाणा। क्या मिला है राखी गढ़ी में? प्लॉ मिलाया, उसमें लिखा हुआ था तुमने। या guys, I'll give it to you, don't worry. So that is not a problem for this thing. Not a Harappan site. ऊपर करूंगा तो आंसर दिख जाएगा ना भाई। तुम्हें खड़ा होना पड़ेगा, सॉरी। दिख रहा है? Not a Harappan site. मैडम ये तो यूपीएससी का क्वेश्चन है। ढोलावीरा कह रही है पूजा। हाँ बेटा ठीक है। What about question number 2? Guys, not Harappan site. सोरागुड़ा कह रही लड़की। ठीक है बेटा। देसलपुर ठीक नहीं है क्या? देसलपुर से हरप्पन साइट। अच्छा चलो मैंने बोला था। गुड। Remember, Soraguda is the famous Mauryan inscription. Soraguda में है. So it's not. Soraguda is known for its Ashoka inscription. ये मैं will discuss this in great details. ProdEgy देसलपुर है ना? ProdEgy में मैंने दिखाया था एक बार। देख के पता चलेगा ना बच्चों को। Yes, guys. Where is ProdEgy? That's why I said, na? Where is your Desalpur? Here. Where is Lothal? Where is Alamgirpur? Manda is here. Mehergarh is pre-Harappan site. तभी मैं कह रहा हूँ तुम लोग मेरे को मैं पहले क्वेश्चन करा सकता था। I would have done like this way also, उल्टा इंसेप्शन मूवी की तरह, but I did not do it deliberately. मेरे को लग रहा था कि चलो पहले बच्चों का लेवल देख लेते हैं। अदरवाइज मैं उल्टा भी कर सकता हूँ। I don't mind. ठीक है? ओके, बढ़े आगे। गाइस 3 सवाल एंड दिस ईयर आई डोंट नो उनका दिमाग खराब हो गया तो पता नहीं क्या क्या कर देंगे तुम्हारे साथ। समझ रहे हो ना? एक क्वेश्चन टॉपिक्स यार बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन Milinda Panho. Milinda was a Greek ruler and Nagasena was a Buddhist monk. So these people had a conversation when Greeks came to India. Okay, Buddhism was a dominant religion at that point of time. So UPSC people asked that also. What was the conversation between Milind or Menander and Nagasena? So this book is being compiled. The conversation was compiled and there was a book called Milind Panho. Milind says. इसका मतलब ये Milind कहता है. We'll discuss that also. That's not a problem. But just to give you a heads up, ठीक है? ये questions पूछे हुए हैं UPSC ने यार, तो we cannot afford to skip these questions. Okay? तो ये तो हो गया भाई. अच्छा भाई ये हो गया. Next. दिख रहा है? हाँ. Very good. They possessed great palaces and temples. Not they employed horse chariots. Were not there. They worshipped both male and female deities. That's what we boil down to. ठीक है? इसको देख लेना, एक्सप्लेनेशन पढ़ लेना. Okay. Substantiate your point. It was predominantly a secular civilization. जो एक argument लिखवाया था मैंने आपको. Since it was agricultural, surplus driven or trade driven, so it was kind of secular. We can say that. Second is that during this period, cotton was used. Sindel, ठीक है? जो source करवाया उससे हो रहा है. ठीक. UPSC may ask कि Sindel was a barley which was used. UPSC can just add to one statement. वक्त और जज्बात दोनों बदल जाएंगे. समझ रहे हो ना? I'm telling you frankly because I thought they have asked 3 scholars कि कालिदासा, वारामिहिरा and stuff. 3. Earlier they used to ask कि वारामिहिरा ने क्या लिखा हुआ है. Who was the contemporary of him? That's what they are asking. कि when Krishnadevaraya was in, when was Krishnadevaraya ruling? Vijayanagara Empire. तो पहली मुड़ गई. अरे बेटा सब बताऊंगा मैं, टेंशन मत लो. You, I assure you, these 12 questions में से 9 questions you'll be able to do it. I don't want to be too pompous, but you'll be able to 90. मतलब बहुत होते हैं यार. 18 मार्क्स देके जा रहा हूँ तुमको और क्या चाहिए तुमको? दुआएं दोगे मुझे? I hope so. Yeah. So I mean, people don't, because I don't know, people don't do it ancient medieval. If do you read it, अगर तुमने एनसीईआरटी पढ़ी होगी तो 50% तो कर लोगे, समझ रहे हो? अब वो करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ेंगे, करंट अफेयर्स तो पढ़ना ही है भाई. हाँ भाई, नेक्स्ट. बोथ. Vijayanagar Empire, guys. Vijayanagar Empire. Then Vijayanagar Empire was there. Krishnadevara was there, 1540s. Then he attacked Gajapati. Gajapati एक ruler, Gajapati Empire है उड़ीसा में. तो यूपीएससी ने has asked कि Gajapati को ही, Gajapati nobody studies. That North Andhra Pradesh, present day Odisha. What did I commandment नहीं है ना? See, present day Odisha was part of like, yeah. And Travancore is not. Today's Travancore is where? Tamil Nadu का part of Southern Andhra, you see, है ना? Okay, चलो भाई. वो ऐसे पूछ रहे, लिंक कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे को. अच्छा, ए का 2, कालीबंगन में क्या मिला था? अच्छा, सी का ढोलावीरा में? और छोटा करूं, एक बार इसको दोबारा देखना, अगर आप कहोगे तो मैं इसको दोबारा डिस्कस कर दूंगा, बट दैट्स व्हाट इट इज. First we have Lothal, where we find dockyard. Then we have Kalibangan, plot field we saw. I've made you right. Yeah. Then we have Dholavira, which is inscription. And then we have Banavaliya, plot field. This was Banavali area कहाँ पर है? बनवाली है कहाँ पर? हरियाणा. क्योंकि देखो आज के कंटेक्स्ट में भी देखो, हरियाणा इज अ सरप्लस स्टेट. ठीक है, ये तो खैर कर ही दोगे. ठीक है, हो रहे सवाल 50% हो रहे, तो हो जाएगा धीरे धीरे. Guys, that's it for today. If you have any other doubt, if you have any other queries, do let me know. अभी बता दो, फिर मैं उस हिसाब से लेसन प्लान तैयार करूंगा. What we studied today, let me just give you a very brief. We started off with the inception of the civilization. We understood about the historiography. We understood about the the basic tenets of history. What is history? Then we came across civilization. Then we discussed the culture and civilization differences. We got into that. Then we got into Indus Valley Civilization. We did a comparative analysis. Then we talked about society, religion, administration, and trade and commerce. Then we came into the archaeological extent of it. We talked about what all sites were there, east, west, north, south, which specific areas were there, and what was the characteristics of different areas. Then we got into the details of the sources, like coins, seals, and archaeological areas, and whatnot, ins and outs of that. Then we got into the decline phase, and then we got into the past year papers. इसमें कोई शक के सवाल थक गए? चलो बढ़िया. ठीक है, you got समझ में आ रहा है बेटा? इतना समझ में आना जरूरी है, नहीं तो फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you, because this is a very meaty area. You don't understand it that way, but the point is, give me some time. If there are some gray areas, we'll work on that. Okay. What is the problem you guys are facing as far as ancient is concerned? Ancient medieval. Modern का तो बाद में बात करूँगा. Yeah.
Administrative cases and architecture so contemporary revolts and army chiefs and names Maharaja.
Yeah. But the point is, if you understand that, see, I was saying Gajapati and Krishnadevara are contemporary, so दो चीजें जुड़ गई. What you can do is, say, I draw a map. Here is Krishnadevara. Here is Gajapati. I am talking about 15th century or 16th century. Here I have Mughals. मुगल्स में लिख देता हूँ कि बहादुर शाह था, या whatever. 16th century में अकबर था या कौन था, गजपति का राजा लिख लेता हूँ मैं. At the same time, we had 16th century में हिंदुस्तान में कौन-कौन आए थे? So one picture explains everything. You have 10, 20, 30, 40 pictures. That's how you understand it. इसके साइड में राजा लिख दो. अच्छा इस टाइम पे राजा था, इस टाइम पे ये था. इसके टाइम पे ट्रैवलर्स भी आए थे. Travelers लिख दो. Just go through it again and again. It will not evaporate because your pictorial memory stays. You getting my point? So that's how you connect with it. It's all about connections. One fact and one interpretation. One story and one fact. बस. अभी सिर्फ मार्च अप्रैल भर कर लो, उसके बाद तो मई में तुम you focus on your like पॉलिटी ज्योग्राफी इकोनॉमी. 1-1.5 महीने में हो जाएगा. आप समझ रहे हो ना? I'm here also, that is not a problem. So that's how I operate. You cannot take it in silos. If we have Satavahanas, then who is there in north? If we have Pallavas, then who we have in north? If Sangam age is going on, that which is post-Mauryan age, then who is there in North India? On the very good. Declining of Mauryan Empire led to हाँ मौर्य के बाद क्या आया था? पोस्ट मौर्यन मतलब कनिष्का, कुशानास. उस टाइम पे चोला, यस उस टाइम पे संगम एज, संगम लिटरेचर लिखा जा रहा था, कंटेम्पररी. सेम वे. So you can say that like this scholar was there and this Buddhist monk was also there. In South we had Sangam age. You're getting my point? धीरे-धीरे करेंगे. And those pictures are very important. उससे कुछ थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आया होगा ना? Okay. क्या बोल रही पूजा? Okay. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Introducing the Prelims Target course and Prelims Test Series at ProdEgyIAS. Designed for UPSC Prelims 2026, this comprehensive program offers in-depth classes on history, geography, science and tech, environment, polity and governance, and economy. Stay updated with current affairs and sharpen your skills with our Prelims Test Series consisting of 50 full-length tests covering all subjects along with CSAT. Join ProdEgyIAS and stay ahead.